straight from the realm of all things gaming. Everything Noob starts now.
Episode number 120 of the Everything Noob podcast. How is everybody? I'm Vortak. Sometimes I make YouTube videos, and lately I've been busting my ass with the help. I've been hardly busting my ass compared to how much our friend Toy has been working on the website, but lately I've been helping with a website, and it is awesome. But before we get to that, joining me this evening, Miss Jemmy.
I'm done with the website. I'm over it.
Mr. Treadlow.
How's it going? Yep. I'm a streaming monster now.
Yeah, you're streaming all the time, like every night.
That's about all I can say. I don't know what else to say.
So tonight's show, every week we pick some topics to discuss, and this evening we're going to talk a little bit, like we did last week, about the new everythingnoob.com, which just launched only moments ago, kind of officially, unofficially. I'll explain. And also we have a couple other things. Steam just announced a VR piece of hardware, and there's also a couple little things that leaked. We're going to discuss that as well. So, first things first, everythingnoob.com. We have launched the site. It is up. You can make a profile, but due to switching URLs, if you go to everythingnoob.com, you're going to see the old site still until that URL finally transfers, which could take a few days. So for now, using the URL vortakvids.com, you can visit the new everythingnoob.com.
But in the future, like by next week, everythingnoob.com will be still the URL.
Yes.
So if you're willing to wait, just wait.
In fact, you can even bookmark vortakvids.com if you want, because that is still going to bring you there even in the future.
Yeah, it'll just redirect.
Yeah.
I got you. So, because when you buy a domain, you must have bought a domain with a hosting package and everything, huh?
Yeah. I bought everythingnoob.com through Google. And Google, it's through our normal web host, but Google kind of puts its own partnership spin on it.
Right.
And I had to transfer it like it was from someone else to my current host that hosts vortakvids.com. So vortakvids.com is just sitting there. I snagged that URL after years of not having it, and it was just sitting there. So we decided to build everythingnoob.com on that site. And I said, okay, great. I'm going to do this whole URL transfer thing. And I go to do it, and they're like, okay, in 5 days or so, you'll have it.
That's why I like buy the domain name, and then I go to a different hosting company or host through them, but I buy the domain name as a separate entity that's not linked to an actual hosting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That probably would have been wise, but I don't know much about websites. I'm learning a lot, though.
It's not a huge deal, honestly, if we had just thought about it last week instead of this week.
Yeah.
But you can still get to it. We can still get to it. People can still visit it and everything, just not through everythingnoob.com yet.
Yeah. I was afraid if I did the transfer too early and we didn't have the site ready, that we would be without a website completely. So I still wanted people to have a place to go to get show notes and things like that. So after this show, we won't be updating everythingnoob.com with episode 120 show notes. You'll need to go to vortakvids.com, but just for this week. So apologies there. Still, it looks great. It looks fantastic. And hold tight, because we're going to be looking at different artwork schemes and things like that.
Should we, for the listeners out there, kind of spell out vortakvids.com? It's V as in Victor, ORTACVIDS.com.
COM.
Yes, COM, not CO like I did.
Yeah.
.co,
which is a thing now.
.colorado.
Yeah. Jenny is our art designer, and we're still toying with some artwork on the site. So you'll notice it kind of change sometimes, and things will happen if you're on the site. Just stay calm.
I'm so done with the artwork.
Jimmy needs an artwork.
I create so many beautiful things, and it's just like, nope. Well,
no. The concept is there. You got the concept. I know you got the concept. It's just putting it all together. in the right way. That's all. I think you did an awesome job.
You did. And it's a really fun little concept, but I don't want to give anything away because we have no idea what the hell you're going to pump out next. But we'll see. I think it can work. And in the meantime, it's still the good old bricks like you see right now if you're watching the video stream on twitch.tv/enoobs. And yeah, you'll recognize it instantly. So it's pretty cool. So a couple of things that I wanted to point out on the site. There is a built-in messenger. So if you see someone online, you can say hi to them and start chatting.
Oh, that's
What
cool.
if they're not online? Does it just save it in an inbox, or is it no bueno if they're not online?
I would like to think it saves in an inbox. I'm almost positive it does. And
is it like a chat where it chats with everybody at the same time? I've seen those websites where you go to it and there's an actual chat where you can chat with whoever's online. Whoever happens to be there will see it and then chat back to you.
It's just a direct message. It's not a big open
gotcha.
chat room. And Toy, our lead web developer, is saying you can chat in chat. And he's in Twitch chat right now saying you can chat even if they're offline. So if you see someone and you're like, oh, I saw them on the forums, we said we were going to play a game together, you can shoot them a message and give them whatever information you need to give them to, set up your game. That's kind of what I want to see going on. We have forums set up, and I'm envisioning people going there and saying, hey, I just got Left 4 Dead 2. Does anyone want to play it with me this week? And that would be awesome. Absolutely use the website for things like that. And it's also going to give us an easier platform to get to you guys if we decide to host a game night or something, and we can give you direct information on when and where without having to do a podcast to tell you.
I just like the fact that we are trying to build a community rather than just be a podcast. And I think that's something that everybody needs to see. Hopefully they see that we're trying to build something for everybody so that we can all be interactive with each other.
Exactly.
And then the podcast obviously is something that we do. So it's to bring you information. So definitely this is going to be a great improvement.
Yeah, sorry, it looked like Jimmy was about to say something.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're exhausted.
I am. If I do any more art, I'm gonna scream. My hand is cramped. I honestly, it's thankful that everything's been digital, or I just have graphite smudges all over my face, probably. But honestly, since we're building this community, going back to that, if you have suggestions for things you would like to see that kind of would just are a group thing and a community thing, please do not be afraid to suggest it. The worst that happens is we're like, no, that's just not feasible.
Yeah. Another thing, I've mentioned this a few times. I don't know if I talked about it last week, but I'm really excited because I want to see people posting their Let's Plays and things that they're doing on the forums. And in some way, I'm going to try to. I don't know if I can streamline it. I don't know if I can streamline it, or if it's just going to be through the forums. But I would like to start taking people's videos. Let's say they make videos. I want to start taking those, and if they're really good, putting them on the front page once in a while, or in the sliding banner maybe, featuring them.
Yeah, because we got that feature now. It'll be so easy to distinguish, videos from our podcast from, So, yeah, that would work. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I really want to take this opportunity to showcase things going on in the community and not just posting the podcast and videos we're doing.
Yeah.
So this is a completely open platform for things like that, built for growth, and we hope you check it out. So for now, like I said, vortecvids.com, everythingnoob.com will direct you there very soon. So be on the lookout. There you go. If you have any questions, by the way, you can throw them in chat, and we will address them appropriately. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. Just a little bit ago, Valve made an announcement, and it kind of took everybody by surprise. But apparently at GDC next week, they're going to showcase a Steam virtual reality hardware system, is what they're calling it.
Wow.
On top of the controller that they finalized too, for the the Steam box.
So it'll be kind of like over your face thing, right?
No more VR. The fad is done. Let's move on.
But we haven't even gotten it at home yet. We don't even know what it's like. It's just for developers.
And exactly. It's never going to be for anything more than that. No one is going to pay for double down for a piece of equipment that's the same price as an expensive console now to go with your console to play in VR.
Well, when the Oculus Rift came out, Google had a comeback for that, and they made a cardboard version. Have you ever seen that? It's called Cardboard. You can get the app on the Google store, and what it does is you buy it, and it's just a flat piece of cardboard. You fold it up into a square box, and it's got two little emblems in it. You take your phone, and you stick that inside of it, and you run the app, and you've got virtual reality right there. You can play. There's games you can play, and it's not the kind of virtual reality where it's just in your face. It takes the whole world around you because it's using your camera, and it places the game, everywhere. So you can do things with it and interact with things in the. So it's taken that whole virtual reality thing where it's so expensive that none of us are probably ever going to even get it before the next version of it comes out. But it makes it cheap. It makes it so you can actually use your cell phone to have the same results as you would with an expensive unit. So if Valve comes out with this, hopefully they make it a decent price where just the common Steam user can actually purchase it. That would be awesome.
You know what? With the way phones are now, if they created a face device where you would slide in your phone and it would accommodate for a lot of different phones, or at least the more popular ones, I could see that catching on and starting the VR trend.
Well, Google has done it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you can put different phones in there.
More than just a cardboard version, and then really put out a package to kind of warp
and they have
the stuff better. Yeah, but I'm just saying more support for that. Yeah. I could see that actually catching on because the Bluetooth in the phones, you can put a controller on it, and controllers are actually, if you've been following the tablet and the phone, they're actually taking quite off. There's lots of really good Bluetooth specific controllers you can buy.
Yeah, that would be cool, man.
I could see that taking off and doing really well. I don't see Oculus Rift doing well, unfortunately.
Can I just point out that Google is actually selling cardboard? It's not like a.
I told you that's what it is.
It's the only cardboard Google sells, really. Everything else they just give away for free.
They have a plastic version, but I just wanted to bring that out that it can be cardboard. It can be as much as cardboard, and you use your phone, and you can have virtual reality. Why would we come out with some expensive $600, $700 unit you put on your face when you can just use your phone with cardboard? It's crazy.
Again, can I just say, Google continues to embarrass everyone.
They totally do. It's awesome.
While embarrassing themselves?
Well, think about all the things they're doing. The other big one that comes to mind because of this is fiber optic internet. They're putting it everywhere, and they're like, free internet for everybody, yay! And then if you pay for it, you get gigabit internet that is about the same price you're probably already paying for your crappy internet you have now.
Regular internet, yeah.
And so they come into town, and then everyone's ISP suddenly gets amazing because they're like, oh, God, we don't want to lose everybody. So they make your internet gets really good.
They're doing upgrades, like in my area. They're doing all kinds of upgrades. They're going to offer free 100 megabit internet here eventually, probably next year, for those that are already customers. So I might get a boost in the internet because of Google.
and this fiber optic internet they're installing is embarrassing, other ISPs because they've worked so hard to get you to pay all this money because they have this monopoly on the area, and you only get 2 or 3 choices of ISP when you move somewhere.
Some people only have one choice.
I have 2 choices, and one of them wasn't even an option with how slow their internet service was. So I had to go with Time Warner. That was it. That was just my only choice.
Yeah.
And although they've been good in this area, for the most part, I would have liked to have more options, but I don't, Even if Google comes in, though, and puts fiber optic like 10 streets away, my internet's still going to get better because they're like, they know it's just going to keep spreading.
Oh, yeah. That's what's so cool about it.
Well, it's done in grids, and so you're 3 streets away, but they're gonna upgrade their whole system of we better ungate it, because we could have better internet. They just drag their feet and they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to. They would rather you spend the money to get what you should already be getting.
Yes.
Right.
So I just love this. I love this cardboard thing because it's just Google embarrassing everybody once again. Like, Oculus Rift is working so hard to, like Jemmy said, develop something that's going to cost as much as a gaming console just to go with your gaming console. Or you can download this free app and put some cardboard on your face, which will be a lot lighter, honestly, than the Oculus Rift. And it's amazing because you think, that they're just joking around, right? Well, the phone screen literally splits in the middle, just like the Oculus Rift does. And the whole point of wearing the thing on your face is to help kind of surround you in that. Just using your existing phone.
Right.
That's the most expensive thing, and you probably already have one.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I could see that taking off as using your phone, and then people creating, head units to kind of house it, and then you just pick your own Bluetooth controller, and off you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
Valve is coming out with their own.
So Valve is coming out with their own piece of hardware. That's all it says. We don't know if it's going to be something you wear on your face or a piece of cardboard you duct tape to your forehead.
Or are they going to use Nintendo's 3D,
Valve does computer
technology?
games, so you're taping the monitor to your face.
Yeah, I have to.
I hope you have a small monitor. Otherwise, your neck might break.
I think I already talked about that. I did. My laptop kind of turned into a Steam box once they did the streaming, in-home streaming with your games.
Oh, yeah.
I just kind of, I like that. I don't like that Oculus Rift is owned by Facebook. I just don't like that fact. I don't know if it means anything for how the Oculus Rift will end up turning out, but I don't like that. I like Valve.
Yeah.
If those were my only two options and I had to get a VR headset, I'm kind of curious to see what Valve's turns out, because that's
it's like somebody offered the idea to them and they said, "Does it go on your face?" Oh, well, yeah, Facebook needs it.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's the
just
thing
because we're
though.
called
Valve
Facebook.
is a gaming company, and Facebook is we want to steal all your information, sell your information, and make as much money as possible social networking site.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I think, and if Valve has a
will be
competitive
more
price,
concerned with your entertainment value than the bottom line dollar.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. At the very least, I'm looking forward to seeing what physical thing they bring to the conference. Because they're also bringing the new controller, the Steambox controller, the finalized version of it. And I don't know about you, but every picture I've seen of it doesn't look that great.
You know what? I've heard that it feels really good, though. And if we've learned anything from the 2DS, looks of comfort can be deceiving.
Well, how are they using it?
It's like
as
a
a
touch
controller
pad
or something else?
Roll it. I don't. Well, I mean, but no, on the news stories and stuff, they're putting the old prototype. So a lot of that stuff could have been scrapped, and we could be now seeing what they finally decided on. I mean, I don't know. The touchpad that's in place of the joystick, I don't know how I'd feel about that. In my head, it works like those trackball mouses where you actually roll the ball. I don't know if you've ever had one.
I did. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
have
where
one,
it's-
but I've used plenty of them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just dreadful.
Now, I don't know. I don't know the name of this controller, but there's a controller out there where they've taken the trigger buttons that you would normally use, and they put them on the bottom so your fingers, where your fingers are naturally going to be if you're using a controller, and they put them on the bottom. And I thought that was a really cool idea. And I saw a YouTube video on it and how it works. You can get it with 4 buttons or you can get it with 2. And normally you'd use 2 for the trigger, because I think there's still the trigger near your fingers here.
Yeah.
Or the listeners can't see what I'm talking about, but your index fingers. But then you got the fingers underneath that are unused. When you're usually playing, you just use your thumbs, right? So now you can use those and utilize those buttons on the bottom.
Going off of what, like, I've been playing the PS4 and stuff like that, and the way they have the trigger buttons, they have the R1, R2, and L1, L2. I really think you're supposed to take your index finger and your middle finger and, like, rest those above those trigger buttons.
Yeah,
like,
but
while
it's very
you use
uncomfortable.
it. But yeah, it's so unnatural and very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders if that's just because I'm old and I've been doing it the old way for so long that now I have no muscle for that, and it just is weird. And it's more meant for the younger generation to use more conveniently, and I just need to get used to it, or is it really just bad ergonomics?
And ergonomic wise, with this particular, I forgot, I should have had the information for this gamepad, but it's really cool.
Yeah, way to go.
The actual, where you hold it, like on the Xbox, you got it where it's like a wing, it comes out from the left to the right in an angle. This kind of goes in a little bit, and it's tucked up, so your hand just kind of fits on there completely naturally, and it just perfect. And it's like, man, people have been waiting for controllers like that. Now, if Valve comes out with something like that,
I'm on board. All the prototype designs look like a trackpad from a laptop was formed into an inside-out joystick to where it's like indented in the controller. And I'm worried that's what they did. And the joysticks are going to be like these weird touch pads instead of joysticks.
Yeah. A lot of people said it was really nice, and they have something in there. I just, like I said, like, I imagine that works just about as well as the ball you roll on the mouse.
No moving parts to break.
Ugh.
Now,
that is true. That's the bonus right there, no moving parts.
Yeah. The triggers on that controller Dreadla was talking about just made me think, how lazy are we getting that we can't lift our index finger to shoot someone?
It's not that I can't do it. It's just that it's so unnatural that I know that I am losing time and brain thought process time. I can't think of the word right now, but like, it's reaction time. Okay. Like when I have to think to move my fingers around or, oh shit, I gotta like go down to the other like trigger set, or worse yet, they design the game where you have to use both and like do other stuff on the controller at the same time. It just does not feel right. Maybe it's my hands. I do kind of have stumpy fingers. So, I mean, I realize physically that it could be me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it would be comfortable, but also I never really looked at my controller and went, I wish these triggers were lower. It's just not something I thought of. So maybe I'd like it. I don't know. I just know that my Xbox 360 controller doesn't really bother me, and even though I don't have my 360 anymore, I kept one of the controllers, and that's what I play all my PC games with that require a controller. Or I feel like should use a controller, I should say. And now that I'm using my laptop as a Steam box, I've been using that a hell of a lot more, and it just works. It's cool, and I'm just glad that Steam isn't pushing this controller on us. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm glad
forcing us to,
that's.
Yeah. I'm glad I can just plug in a controller, and if it's a popular enough controller, like a PS4 controller or an Xbox controller, it knows what I've plugged in and maps the game accordingly.
Yeah. Well, there are games that are being developed that way.
Only Steam controllers in the future.
Ugh. That would suck if they went that route. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would either. They've been making really good money with the way they've been doing things, and it seems that every mistake that consoles make, Valve doesn't have to worry about it. Like, Valve doesn't need to worry about backwards compatibility, and Valve doesn't need to worry about hardware that's exclusive to Steam. You know, they're just kind of open-ended.
Well, and see, I think Microsoft is kind of like understanding this a little bit more, because the Xbox, when you're playing Call of Duty on Xbox, you can't link with people that are playing the PC version of Call of Duty. Okay, but with Windows 10 coming out, you will be able to do that. You'll be able to actually, if somebody's using an Xbox One, you'll be able to play the game. If you're on a PC with Windows 10, you'll be able to play Call of Duty with them.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's really a good idea.
Integrating that. It's through Xbox Live. And we'll be able to do that.
But the
game has to be developed to do that. So in other words, they've come up with the API and allowed developers to be able to develop in a way to where you can link those two. But like, you couldn't take an old Call of Duty and do that. No, you couldn't. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you can't. It has to be. But they've already created a game for it.
Well, my initial thought when you said that was, you're gonna have people who don't buy Xbox Ones because they'll just get the game for their PC in Windows 10. But that's not how it's really going to work if it needs to be developed to do that. I haven't heard that specifically. I know that it's possible. It's been possible to do things like that for a while, but it's also probably a huge pain in the ass. Now Windows 10 is trying to fix that by making the OS basically the same across the board.
And I think this is where Microsoft is going to somehow, well, actually, the deadline is coming up here for them to make their $2.5 billion back from buying Minecraft. But it could be because Windows 10 will allow people to play Minecraft on anything, on Xbox One, on PC, and be able to play on the same server together. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting for people who play Minecraft on the Xbox and can only have 8 people on a map.
Yeah.
So now they can connect to PC servers, which would be...
I know that, I do know that Windows 10 is, you're able to connect to Xbox Live and Xbox One and be able to connect with your friends in certain games that are developed to be done that way. With the current operating system, you can't do that. I guess, from what I understand, it's not feasible.
I know you guys want this so bad, but it's a bad idea because hacking and modding is so heavy in PC, and by doing this, you're creating a huge unfair advantage for the PC users in matchmaking and stuff. Like for Minecraft, it won't be such a huge deal because there's no real competition there or anything like that. But for like FPSs and Halo and stuff, like they really need to be separate.
I'm sure that developers will understand that, and they probably won't develop games, specifically games like that, to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, who knows if this feature is there. I don't even know if I was a developer, if I'd want to take advantage of it just for that reason. And I think you could be, in a way, hurting sales only because some people will buy 2 copies of a game to play with separate friends in separate realms. Like, for example, Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out for PC soon. We have it on PS4, but because I have friends that will play it exclusively on PC, now I'm like, now I think I might have to get the PC version. And I'll have 2 copies of the same game, which is more sales for Rockstar.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I was watching where I found this information to just show that I'm not feeding you with a bunch of bull here. They have Windows 10 where they have a Windows 10 session where people from Microsoft will discuss some of the features that they've added or updated in the new Windows 10 release candidate or whatever they call it. And he actually demonstrated it. He had a girl who was on Xbox One playing a video game, and he was on a PC, and they were both playing in the same game together. So there you go. I'm just saying it's one of the things, one of the features that they've added to Windows 10 in this latest update that they've come up with. And And the game that they actually were using to do that with was actually developed. Is not even a game that's out, I don't think, yet. It almost looks like Witcher, but it was a game that's developed, that will be developed specifically to do obviously that. But they opened the door for other developers to do the same thing when they're developing. They have the hook or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but when they develop a game, they gave them the ability to be able to connect the two together in some way. So they've opened that door. I'm sure there's licensing things they got to do and all that stuff, but the
Jimmy's
background.
No, I just in my mind now, because you're gonna have to have like more DRM to check this and sync this. So because Xbox likes that controlled environment, if you're gonna have them play with console players, you kind of have to keep everybody in check to make sure they're not modding or cheating or anything like that, dropping packages so they can move unnaturally or whatever. So I think we're gonna see more if Microsoft continues to sell these games that are broad multi-platform. There we go. If they continue to sell them through Steam, I think we're going to see more of like what Ubisoft has done with Uplay and just that whole
Xbox Live. Yeah, it'll be
website open to play Battlefield kind of garbage.
Probably.
What if this leads to the abolishing of Origin?
But it's with Microsoft and stuff, so that they're not going to get rid of Origin.
You're right. EA is Origin. Sorry, I'm dumb. Don't mind me. I'll just not talking.
Origin will be like, okay, well, if you want to have that game and you're just going to have to go through Origin.
I just keep associating Origin releases with console releases because all the shooters seem to come out like Battlefield.
Now you'd have to have. You buy the game through Steam. Now you have to have Origin open to open up Microsoft's environment.
Remember Games for Windows?
See, that's another thing. They have gone through like 3 or 4 iterations of like Games for Windows environments, and they can every single one, and then open up a new one, and then you just end up with this hot mess if you want to go back and play your really old games.
Yeah, and what sucks about that when they did that is there's a lot of games you can't play anymore because of it. Because it can't link up to Games for Windows because it doesn't exist anymore.
So if the developers didn't go back and patch it, you're SOL. Unless the community was like, no, this game's great, so we're gonna come up with a user hack to circumvent that.
Love the internet community and gaming community out there. They do that. Help us all out.
Yeah,
I know. Google's so friendly to find that stuff because sometimes there's just no option.
I see Games for Windows Live still crop up every now and then, and I just laugh to myself, like those people. You poor saps stuck with those games.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them I can't play right now because the developer hasn't updated it to patch it. But that's okay. I got plenty of Steam games to deal with.
Oh my gosh. My pile of shame, though, ever since making my laptop a Steam box, has been going down. Thankfully.
That's good.
It's taking a while, but I feel a lot better about playing some of these games in my living room. I need to get through all of the Batman games before I even think about the new one that's coming out.
Ah, yeah.
Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight and all. Those are all really awesome games, and I have them all on Steam. And yeah, perfect for the Steam box thing I got going on. I just have to start those up. Right now, I'm kind of in the stick of truth. That's how far behind
Stick
I
of truth.
Am. Yep.
Oh man, I still have yet to get that game.
Amazing game. They did such a good job on South Park Stick of Truth. So our chat is kind of blowing up tonight. I think this is the perfect time to get them in on the conversation here.
Let's hear from the Noob Nation.
All right, so a couple new people in chat tonight. Hello to Crap Crusader. I say that name first because it's pretty easy to not botch it. Tuanta?
Shitting around there.
Let's see. People are responding mostly to things we're saying in general. So things might be disconnected here. I'm going to say this wrong again. I hate names. A new person in chat says they could allow the client to decide if they want to play with all or only consoles, for example. So I think what they're saying there is maybe it's an option in the game settings. Like, I want to matchmake with only people playing on Xbox right now, or I want to matchmake with people only playing on PC right now.
I'm sure that would be an option.
To Anta. Okay, thank you.
There you go.
So that would be acceptable, I think. You have like challenge mode where you matchmake with people. If you have an Xbox, people on PC probably hacking and cheating, and then you go in and everyone.
You know what?
Face.
I would be okay with that if they give you that option, and also if the default matchmaking kind of tried to match you with the same console environment, and like only dip over if, say, people around your skill level or whatever. There just was not a big community. So in order to make sure you don't wait too long, okay, we'll dip over into PC now.
Yeah.
Because the Xbox pool is a little too low right now.
I think it's worth testing, for sure.
But they need better metrics of like measuring your skill and proper matchmaking, because that's been really busted for a while.
You know, Microsoft just might listen to this podcast and just say, you know what, we're going to have to scrap that because they've got some really good ideas.
They're right.
If I had a dime for every time we had a good idea, I might have a pocket full of change.
I'm sure, like I said, Windows 10 is still in development. It's not even a full operating system yet, and we all get it for free. Anybody who has Windows 8 or Windows 7, they've actually extended it to Windows 7 users too. We all get it for free. But I really think this is a way for them to put more control on Windows, and that's what I'm afraid of.
Are you? No, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm a little scared to move to 10. Like, it's actually giving me a little bit of anxiety. Like, but I like this. This is comfortable.
That's what's so cool is they took Windows 7 and Windows 8 and made their monster. So any Windows 7 users, they'll feel like they're using Windows 7. Any Windows 8 users will still be able to use Windows 8. And now when you connect a tablet to a keyboard, it automatically goes to Windows 7 mode.
Or if you look at my desktop,
Windows 8 mode.
I can look like Can I look like I'm in Windows 95 still?
Toy says he has his Windows 3.1 discs handy.
Because I get made fun of, apparently, because for some reason I pick the quote-unquote ugly Windows as my Windows environment, because I go back to the classic, like, 98 standard of taskbar and everything like that.
Oh, God, it looks horrible.
What? I think
it doesn't.
You know what? In their describing Windows 10, in the thing that I watched, I think they did show that you can still do that. You can still take away all that stuff and make it look like basically all your server editions of any Windows operating system. All server editions look like Windows 98.
Good.
Even to this day, every new one always looks like Windows 98. So, you can still do that, I'm sure.
Good, because it makes me happy.
I'm glad
But I just brought up Windows 10 because of the Xbox thing, but I didn't mean for us to have a discussion about Windows 10. But I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it to come out. So
I'm pretty excited. I think that it's definitely, once that becomes the standard, because now that we see Windows 7 and 8 going, all those users can very easily transition for free. Once that happens, I think that's when we'll start to see people maybe starting to look at Windows tablets a little bit more and Xbox Ones a little bit more, especially for people like me who, I have an iPhone, I have a PC, and they don't connect. They don't play nice. If I had a Mac computer, I'd be really happy. they would connect really easy. I'd be able to take a photo with my phone and like not even hit a button. It's already available to me on my Mac. To do that on PC, I have to set up this cloud thing, and it's really annoying. And Windows is going to be just like that. So you might see people starting, Windows Phone might start to become popular. You never know. I
already kind of get that with Android, though.
It's so funny because when I first heard about, we talked about Minecraft, being bought out by Microsoft, and what are they going to do? Are they going to like put it on their phone? And now we're looking at it a little bit differently. We're saying, maybe they got something here because, Windows Phone might just happen now. And it's not because of
Windows
Minecraft,
Phone
but
has
I'm
been
just
around,
saying. But
no one likes it.
Yeah. No one likes it.
No. I have one friend who loves his Windows Phone. And I just was like, you're such a hipster.
And now you're not friends. So
and you'll be able to, here's the thing. On your phone, you'll be able to go to basically a Windows 7 mode on your phone with the Windows Phone, the new Windows Phone operating system that goes along with Windows 10.
I do like
which
the
would
idea.
be kind of neat.
Yeah, there are actually apps that you can download that will give you access to your desktop from your phone. But I do like the idea that it's all integrated, and so you can hit a button and maybe even access your desktop while you're on the road. Like let's say I had a video and I had it all edited up, but I had one that needed to render in front of it, and then I had to go. So I'm on the go, my video finishes rendering, I can check on my phone and go, oh, that finished, and just hit one button and start rendering my next project while I'm not even home. Things like that really excite me.
That would be cool, yeah.
It's just in terms of like what I would use it for as someone who makes YouTube videos. So
Apple, look out.
It could be cool. I still like my iPhone. I've paid for too many apps and too many songs to want to bother switching phone brands, especially now. But I think that Microsoft is getting there. The problem is I've always said, and I still think this, that they're too little too late. I think they're trying to jump on that integration bandwagon after everyone's already kind of picked which side they're on. And they're going to have a really hard time converting those people.
It's kind of like YouTube and Vimeo. Everybody's all, YouTube is YouTube, and everybody's going to stay with YouTube. It's hard to
Nobody wants to go to Windows, though, because there's not the developer support, though. Like, any app you could want, for the most part, it probably is on Apple and Android. Now, there's a few, like, selections that are exclusive, but they're there. And Windows, it's kind of a barren landscape on that front. Unless they're really, really, really big and popular and probably commercially backed.
Or they offer developers a perk. They will offer any developers that develop apps a perk of some sort.
The developer
free license for a year.
So Windows doesn't matter. The Windows environment is dead on arrival because there's just not enough developer support there.
Well,
like no one wants to switch because they can't get all their favorite apps again.
Yeah.
People are willing to rebuy.
I think I've seen enough people switch from iPhone to Android, but there was definitely a market already there. People, Windows has to build a whole new one. And the problem is they keep trying to make things exclusive. Like you can't access Google Play apps with the iPhone and vice versa. Those stores are exclusive to those things, and Microsoft wants their very own store. But it looks like they're going to have to work with Android because that's just what's happening. Apparently, Tuanta, did I say that right? Says in chat, from Tech Times, Microsoft is reportedly taking part in a $70 million investment round in CyanogenMod. Oh my God. It's an Android ROM creator. I'm sorry I can't pronounce anything today.
Oh yeah. When you jailbreak your phone, that's the mod that you put in there, and it allows you to download the.
Exactly. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're going to kind of go on the Google side of things, or the Android market, which is basically Google Play now, if I understand correctly. So
I've had problems when I had an iPhone linking with Windows, and I really think that they do that on purpose in some sense. iTunes just always crashes on my Windows, but when I got Android now works friendly with it for me. I don't know. Seems to work very friendly. I can go to, there's a few apps that I've got connected that connects to my PC, and I'm able to just, send pictures to it and send them back, and so I don't know.
Yeah, and
maybe this is a thing here.
Tuanta also says, that's Microsoft's selling point. Attempting to coax developers by supporting PC, tablet, Xbox, etc. Develop your game once and it works on all platforms. That's a pretty strong selling point.
Yeah, it is. Could you imagine playing Call of Duty on your phone?
But that's the problem, and I'll give you a great example. I've been trying so hard to download Hearthstone on my iPhone. It is available for tablet. It is available for PC, but Blizzard is holding out on releasing the iPhone and Android versions of it because they feel like the UI is just too small and they want to make sure it functions really, really well. It was supposed to come out already, and they've delayed it because they want to make sure the UI is good. What? Why are you laughing?
Blizzard delaying something. What's new?
I know.
No, the thing is, look, I was able to get a hacked version of it for my phone. Don't do this at home, kids. And I put it on my phone. I just wanted to test it, and since they've had an update, I haven't updated the hack, but I was able to play it on here, and it's true. It's really small. What happens in the PC version is when the card comes up, it comes up, and it only fills just a small portion of your screen on your TV, right, or on your monitor, on your home computer, and maybe on a tablet. Where on a phone, imagine that now. There's a big gap on the top and a big gap on the bottom. If you want to look at the description of a card from Hearthstone and it pops up on the screen on your phone, you can't read it. It's just way too small.
Yes.
So I think what they want to try to do is make it so that the card can be enlarged to fill your screen so that you can actually read it. And I think they're working on things like that. But otherwise, it works great on the phone. It doesn't take up too much processing power. It doesn't, it'll eat your battery, obviously, because it's a game. But other than that, it works great. It's just that you can't see things. Yeah. And it's very hard to click the little like settings button because it's real small and everything's just really small.
Yeah. Well, that's my point. Develop your game once it works on all platforms. However, don't just develop it once. Develop it 1.5 times. Really, you need to make a whole bunch of new UIs for all these different. It's not as easy as it sounds.
You should have done it all at once, not just release pieces of it. That's what Castaway Paradise is doing. They're releasing pieces of their game to different platforms instead of just, which it's hard to do. They can't just release Apple and Android and PC all at once, but because there's different environments there. But with Hearthstone, I mean, if they've already made the tablet version, there's no reason why they can't make a smaller UI or a UI that will work for the smaller phones.
And they're working on that, but that takes time. Yeah. And they, in some ways, are redeveloping the game. Just the UI, but still. So it's not... You have to develop it for the smaller screen. So it just feels like you're... I know it's not literally redeveloping the game, but you know what I mean. They're going to have to make it... It's going to have to look different. You got to be able to read what's on the cards. You got to be able to hit buttons that are going to be a lot smaller on that phone. So you can't just take the game and like downscale the resolution and call it a day. You need to like make all those... You need to change all these little things. So, and it's taking time. So I don't think it's going to be like, hey, we've made Minecraft, and because we've made Minecraft and we put it on Windows, now it works on Xbox instantly out of the box, and it works on your Windows phone instantly out of the box. It's not going to be like that. It's going to have to be ported, the controls are going to have to be different between PC and Xbox. All the buttons on the phone are going to have to be different than the ones you see on the Xbox and the PC. And so it's still 3 different games. But the
thing is,
run seamlessly, I guess. Maybe that's why you can play Minecraft with your friends who are using a phone.
The back end will all be the same, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, the thing is,
I'm not saying it's not going to be easier. I'm just saying it's not going to be that easy.
Well, I told you that I play Hearthstone with this one person, right? Yeah. They are using the iPad when they're playing with me on my computer. So it works.
That's really cool.
The whole yeah. So they're able to do that. But I think that I lost my train of thought. That's what I think.
I watched your eyeballs just like
chugga. Lost my train of thought. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. But
you were talking about how cross-platforming already exists in the game Hearthstone, and I was talking about
and
Hearthstone needs to be.
Which we were talking about how why can't we do that with other games, and it doesn't make sense. But Hearthstone's different. It's a card game.
And like Jimmy said earlier,
another thing. That's what I wanted to say about the phone is when you do play Hearthstone on the phone, I know that you can download Magic: The Gathering on your phone, and they didn't have there's no hack or nothing. It's already there. You can go to the Play Store and download it for free. But the thing is it's so small you can't see nothing. It's impossible to play. I uninstalled it. I couldn't do it. And Hearthstone, they don't want people to.
2014.
Yeah,
from the Google Play Store.
And so you can download it and put it on your phone, but it's too small. So what they needed to do was fix that, but they never did. And so Hearthstone or Blizzard is just trying to make sure that it's not another Magic: The Gathering on your phone. It's going to be a game that's made specifically for your phone. So, I think in a way it's good that they're taking their time to do it. At the same time, I want it to come now because I want to put it on my phone. It's a fun game to play, and you can play it anywhere and anytime. So,
what is 2014?
Magic: The Gathering, 2014 edition.
Oh,
every year they come out with a new one.
Yeah, they come out with a new version, and they pulled the old version finally. And now it's just 2015, so a lot of Magic players are really a little bit angry because they're like divided because they kind of went two different ways to do the game, and they're almost like two different games because one will allow for like, well, here is your giant sandbox, here's a bunch of cards, have at it. And the other one is pretty much a very controlled environment where it's like pre-made decks and this, that, and the other. There's a tiny bit of customization, but it's very controlled. So if you don't know anything about Magic, it holds your hand really well. But if you're like hyper into it, deck building and stuff like that, 2015 is where you want to go. Well, now 2014 is off the table, and a lot of people are kind of mad about that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's impossible on a phone. Is my point there.
I don't know. The future is going to be crazy with integration and cross platforms, and I'm surprised it took this long for us to at least try getting cross platforming to be a thing. Like, this was an idea that was not like very creative back when I got an Xbox 360. Even like my dad would get a game and I would get it on 360. He's like, "Oh, can we play?" I'm like, "No, I got to have it on PC." And that was just that. That's all you could do. And it's like, why? Why is it like that? And there's a whole bunch of reasons, but ultimately I'm just surprised it took this long to finally get to that point.
Right.
So we'll have to see. I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up with Windows 10 though. It's free download, and my computer.
And it ain't going to mess up your already existing programs. From what I understand, you can just upgrade to Windows 10 without any having to re-download your drivers or reinstall all your programs. It'll just automatically like a nice little package. But we know how that goes. There's always going to be something. But, so we'll see. The thing that I did want to mention was the what was I going to mention?
Apparently,
man, that train is chugging away, man.
Where are you tonight? Away. You are just up in space.
Well, because there's so much we're talking about. It's like my brain is getting fried right now with all this information.
We didn't have a nice bullet list for you this week, and I can't keep up with these too many.
Jordan needs his talking points from now on. Well, yeah. We're getting close to wrapping up anyway, so maybe hold that thought for next week. Just want to say real quick, going back to the new website, check out, for now, vortecvids.com. EverythingNoob.com will lead you there, hopefully early to late this week. I don't know. It should be this week. I'm hoping it doesn't take as long as they told me it would take. So we'll have to see. And yeah, definitely make a profile. Check us out on the forums. You can also chat with people there. We covered all that. And yeah, I just want to make sure we got through everything I wanted to mention about it. If you have a Let's Play you're doing, if you're playing a game or something, hit up the forums and post it there. Absolutely do that. Share your stuff with the community, things like that. So, I don't know.
Oh, wow, these forums do look nice.
Yes. They are really simple and nice and clean. And we're also getting everyone who were on our old forums for my Minecraft server, giving them the option to move to these ones before we shut those down. So,
yeah,
it works pretty well. We also made a section for our old Minecraft server, folks. There's people who still play on it, and it's just not a public server right now. It's kind of exclusive to people who have always played on it, since it's not modded or anything like that.
Yeah.
If that changes, you might see an Everything Noob Minecraft server crop up, and we'll start talking about it more. But for now, it's more of just an exclusive thing. So, if you see that, sorry.
Don't get too excited.
Yeah, thanks, Mojang,
Unless
for getting bucket canned.
Oh, jeez.
Well, is it really
That's a whole other
Mojang,
subject.
though? They were prepping for their merger.
It was the fault of many people, and we since haven't gotten plugins that we like for running a server. There's ways to do it, but the way we want to do it is still kind of out of reach. So, but again, yeah, subject for a whole nother show. Other than that, thank you so much for joining us. Twitch.tv/enoobs, live every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And definitely check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on iTunes, on Stitcher, all these different places. And, of course, the new everythingnoob.com, a.k.a. vortecvids.com for this week. Feel free to bookmark it, though. If you don't like updating your bookmarks all the time, bookmark vortecvids.com. It'll always lead you to everythingnoob.com. No problem. So, yeah. Any final words before I roll this outro? No?
No. I'm done!
Dread those trains.
No, my train just derailed. My train of thought just derailed.
He's off in a beautiful flowered meadow. There's a little butterfly.
Well, we will see you next week.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Everything Noob podcast. Hit up everythingnoob.com for our show notes, blogs, YouTube and Twitch channels, previous episodes, and even a t-shirt store. Please game responsibly, and we'll see you next week.